Thank you very much.
Yes, sir, your slide is visible. Yeah, you can start, sir. Thank you.
All right, my slides are visible.
Yes, sir, it's perfectly visible.
Fantastic. First of all, thank you very much. It's such a wonderful occasion for me and also very inspired. I'm listening for last half an hour. It's a plethora of knowledge, such a wonderful attempt. And let me take this honor to really appreciate the great work youngsters are doing by clapping. So wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. That's a wonderful session that I've been saying. One important thing that I have noticed, there is tremendous, I would say, high energy participation from the crowd. In fact, this is one of the best participation that I have seen. So once again, my congratulations and really, really my best input for you guys. Thank you very much for having me here. So the topic here is re-engineering of your mind, outliers of the motivated orbit. What it really means is how I can come out of the clutches of my own mind and then do something more meaningful and more powerful. That is something what we are expecting here for the day. Let me take a very small story that happened like 7 or 8 years back. I was on a Mumbai airport. And I don't know if you've been to Mumbai. Mumbai is a place filled with so much humidity, so much sun, so much chaos, so many people around. So I was doing a session. It was a whole long day session. I was very tired. I just want to take a flight from Mumbai and go to Melbourne. That was my plan. I was in so much rush that I reached to the airport and I was, I would say, the first person for that particular flight to reach the airport. I've been there and then hardly, it was like 10 minutes. I tried to convince the people that let me in. He said, "You're too early for the flight." I said, "Please let me come in." Somehow they entertained me. I was in there and I reached to the airport counter, the airline counter, and I requested them. They say, "You're too early. I have to wait for some time." The blocks were open. I was so relieved to put my things stuff there. I quickly checked the immigration check. I quickly checked the security check, and I was waiting, probably the first person for that flight to enter the plane. I go there and I sleep peacefully. Again, that was my plan. I got into the seat, and as soon as the plane was about to leave, and hardly the plane was 5 minutes in the air, suddenly I felt the gravity bump. And I realized this is the time something bad is going to happen. I was blindfolded and I said, "It's time to recite the prayers now because it's anything going to happen." But I took some courage and took that blindfold off, and I saw a young, beautiful girl sitting next to me, and she is chewing her teeth like this and pressing button one after the another. I said, "Ma'am, is there anything I can do? You look a little upset." And she said, "इस plane में कुछ काम नहीं कर रहा है. In this plane, nothing is working." I said, "Relax, just calm down, be quiet. We are 10,000 feet in the air. What's not working?" And she said, "I'm trying to press this button again and again, and my seat is not reclining." I said, "When it's happening, you are pressing my buttons. Why don't you press your own buttons?" Guys, cutting long story short, haven't we given the control of our life to people around us? Have we not given control of our mind to the external conditioning? Have we not given control of our action to the temporary things that are happening all around us? Once the control has gone away from us, the ownership also goes. Once ownership is not there, then your life is just like going from here and there. So outliers of the motivated orbit is the first thing that we have to think, and this is what I will be covering in the whole session, is how to re-engineer yourself, how to be an outlier and still feel motivated and start to add value to the people around you. Okay, all right. May I request if there is any question and people really want to ask in between, so please unmute them if that's okay. And can ask question, that's perfectly fine, because I want to have this session little more interactive. Okay, so
This event, it is a webinar mode, so the participants will be sharing everything through comments. So whenever
okay,
there is a question, I will be helping you with the questions, sir. I will be reading the questions, sir, at the end.
no problem at all. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sure. Okay, let me go to the things. This is the best statement I can think of for today's occasion. We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. This is such a profound statement. I keep on thinking about this. See, once we are into a problem, we have certain mindset, certain approach, certain attitude, and that attitude problem that created that problem. Now, if you want to solve that problem, you cannot solve it staying on that level. You have to take one step up. And that is the beauty here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing, especially in India, antidepressants are second fastest selling medicines after painkillers. Okay. All right. Let me ask you one quick question. One quick question. Okay. What is your definition of happiness? Okay. I will be just looking at the chat here. So feel free to write. You don't have to write big stories or other things. Let me understand what you really feel, what you really mean by happiness. What is happiness? Satisfaction. Fantastic. Thank you. No definition. That's also very good definition. Peace, Prabhu. Okay. Freedom. Okay. Freedom of choice. Being at contency. Nice word. Be yourself. End of desire. Living a life of content. Gratitude. I love this. Internet. Smiles on the eyes. Things going on. Satisfied. Subjective feeling. My God. Smile. No problem is satisfaction. Happiness. Spiritual. Okay. I must tell you this. This is one of the most vibrant and most diverse set of people that I am seeing. Peacefulness, and still the messages are coming. Very nice. And this gives me a lot of idea what should be the level of my talk when I speak, because that's also a very good thing. Let me tell you one thing, guys, and this is very profound. So please listen to this carefully. And this is going, or at least it might change the way you look at things. Happiness is not just an emotion. Happiness is not just an emotion. Happiness is also a decision. Happiness is also a decision. We decide to make ourselves happy. If we thought, okay, wearing a black coat and white shirt will make me happy, okay? But for some reason, instead of black coat and white t-shirt, if you're wearing a blue coat and a white t-shirt, which is away from your expected belief of happiness, and if you can decide to become happy at that time, that is also a sign of emotional maturity. So let me conclude on that part. Happiness is not just an emotion. Happiness is also a decision. This morning we are talking about if we have to help others, we have to make happy or help ourselves first. We cannot keep on lying to ourselves. We have to be honest. We have to be clear, because the most important discussions that you have is with yourself. We cannot pretend. We cannot pretend for long. At some time, we have to be honest and get ready for that candid discussions. Here it is. According to a small research, average normal person will have 42,000 thoughts per day. 42,000 thoughts per day. There are 86,400 seconds in a day. So we are talking not more than 2 to 3 seconds per thought at a time. Can we imagine what it creates on us? Now the concentration level is coming down and down. And if you really want to do something big, I want to throw a very important thing at you. And this is known as deep work. Okay, deep work. This topic, the topic of this discussion, it's entirely new discussion, which we won't be touching here. But I want to tell you one thing. Do you know, if you look at the CEOs of all over the world, and it's a question, okay? It's a question. If you look at the CEOs of all over the world, there are two streams that are more and more dominating in people who are leading the organization as a CEO. Can you name them? Which two faculty of education or learning are more dominant for CEO or decision-making roles? Any guesses? Technology, okay. Okay, just one. Money lays, automobile, AI, okay. Technical, all right. Psychologist, okay. Pankaj, skills, okay. Beautiful, beautiful. Guys, let me tell you one thing, because we can take on this. The maximum number of CEOs all over the world, they are either coming from lawyers, they are coming as a lawyers, or they are coming as a psychologist. Good news for you. And this is important because we all have to understand why. What is so important about this? I don't know if you know this. When it's a Greek terminology, psychology, when it started, the meaning of psyche was not related with mind. In current day context, the study of psychology is about mind. But when it was initially coined, it was a study of the soul, study of the psyche, study of something more intrinsic and meaningful. My suggestion for you is how you can take it out. So my first thing for you is, how can you help yourself and to the people that you are touching to go for a deep work? Now, deep work is consistent, non-disturbing, a fruitful, engaging work that makes you dig deeper and deeper to create wonderful things. But we are not able to do this. Why? Because the maximum time that we're spending on one thought as an average person is not more than 3 seconds. Few years back, it was 5, and 20 or 30 years back, it was 7 seconds. Because of technology, because of so many distractions around us, now we keep on switching. Every day, if we just keep joining the number of tweets that happens, we can have 8,000 books of War and Peace. So there is so much information, and no transformation. As a psychologist, it becomes very important to become what we call as thought vigilance. That's my second term. The first one is deep work. The second word is thought vigilance. Vigilance is keeping an eye what's going inside your mind. Okay, you have to stop there and there. You have to stop there and there. And according to so many research, the more time you spend on one particular thought, the difficult it gets to take it out. If, for example, if you are trying to entertain, if you started entertaining a negative thought, say, no, I want to take it out, and immediately take that step. Yes, it's a vicious line of thought. Thank you, Bipin Thomas. That's very nice. So we really have to understand how we can take that out and start to create more and more positive and conscious focus on thoughts. If you go to the airlines, if you are boarding a plane, the lovely air hostess comes and say, in case of emergency, make sure to put oxygen mask on yourself first before putting it on others. So the same thing, I want you to come up with very strong and positivity. The first thing we talk about, deep work, encourage deep work, focus, consistent, okay? Where you start to go deep and deep. And I'm telling one thing, improve your previous best. Let me tell it again. If you have that itch of excellence, if you have that itch of taking to the next level, try to improve your previous best, not the last best, but the previous best. And then goes to the deep work, and that third comes to the thought vigilance. Now, let me ask you one quick question to this intelligent crowd. Okay, this is a picture here. Okay, now you have to spot only 3 differences. Okay, let me see who can tell me first. And I will tell you what's the purpose of doing it here. Flower, fantastic. Okay, all right. Smile, okay. Expression, smile. Mouth, okay. Bow, okay. Ribbon, smile. I'm just looking same thing again and again. Anything else? I tell you one thing. I have tricked some of you at least. I said spot 3 differences between 2 images. Here, the important thing is there are 6 differences. Most people, I don't know, most people, they stop looking for more differences just after 3, because that's the instruction that is given to you all. Okay, let me do one more simple activity, then I will start to talk about something else. Okay, for this, I want you to have a complete attention. So please don't write anything on the chat box. I want you to listen. This is 15 seconds activity. This is a 15-second activity. We can do it only one time. Okay, so I want all of you to just focus on me for next 15 seconds, because I will give only one time instruction and I want to see how you will respond. And this will give a very important breakthrough when you are dealing with yourself, with your clients. Are we all ready? All right. Now I want all of you to put your finger like this. Okay, beautiful. Done. Now consider this is like a pen. Okay, pen, the instrument that you use to write. Okay, this is your pen. Now turn this pen towards your forehead like this. Done. Take it like this. This is your pen. Now point your finger. This is your pen. Now point your finger on your forehead. Done. Okay. Now the activity starts now. Now you have to write E. That is E for elephant, the capital E for elephant on your forehead, and your time starts now. You have to write E for elephant, the capital E for elephant on your forehead. Done? All right. Thank you very much. Now, are you ready? Now, please tell me how many of you have written E so that I can read it nicely. You have written E for the person who is looking at you. Okay, beautiful. And I want to understand how many others. Panelists, can you see if there is what I call as the voting type things? I just want to create 2 options. I know it's quick one if you can do this. You wrote both. Ankit Mishra, you're a fantastic person. Is there a possibility of doing a voting here? I just want to see. We can raise hands. Okay, I just want to see what percentage of people have written E for themselves and what percentage of people have written E for others. Is there an intelligent way of doing it quickly? Myself. Okay. All right. So while the people are thinking, let me give a quick insight. The people who have written E for me, for others, so that they can read E correctly, they are the people who are good at taking others' perspective first. They are good at thinking what other people might be thinking, how I can position myself so that I can project myself nicely on others. Is that a good one? Wait for the second one to come. The people who have written E for themselves is, they think, let me understand myself first. Let me understand what are my plus, what are my minus points, how I can improve myself. Once I'm clear about my own self, that will help me to take it to the next level. So it totally depends what you want to do. The trick here is, there are 45 apples in your bucket. What's that?
So we can create a poll if you want, so.
I think if you can do it, that will be fantastic. If somebody can do it in the background, that will be nice. I just want to get a feel. And this is very exemplary activity, very exploring activity. Okay. So who is taking initiative? Who can do that?
Sure, sir. Our technical team will do that, sir.
Fantastic.
Can you just repeat the question, sir?
Okay, forget the question. Question is already there. Just write, I have written E for myself. So just write myself. And the second option is others.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Myself is the option number 1. Others is option number 2. Just make it vanilla flavor.
Okay, sir.
Beautiful. I won't let you go without doing that activity, team. All right. So let's do this. I want to keep on moving. I want to tell you one thing. The people who are good at taking others' perspective first and then taking it to others, Make sure you combine both of them before making a conclusion. Most people don't do that. Most people, they don't do that. They just think about themselves, they don't think about others. Some people are too much worried about others, they've started forgetting about themselves. And that's also not good. All I want is a package. Wherever you start, whatever you do, it's all about this. For the notes, for the people who are very much into academics, this is known as perspective taking. Team, if you can just summarize these points. The fourth one is perspective taking. Okay. One more question. What is the most important, effective, and quickest way to get someone's attention? Okay. Host is sharing poll results. Okay. I don't know what's that. Okay. I have asked a question. Speak. Okay. Eye contact. Okay. Let me repeat this. For your profession, guys, I tell you one thing. For last 15 years, I'm a life coach. I'm a psychologist, and understanding people is most important thing. Okay, let me repeat this question. What is the quickest, easiest, and the most effective way to get someone's attention? Coming close to the other person, gesture, active listening, smile, talk to them, speak to them, communication, eye contact, communication. Hey, Anjali and the team, I love these people. The way they are writing, I'm feeling so amazed. I'm very much.
We have an energetic set of audience, sir.
Oh, wow. I'm feeling so bad. I'm just getting 45 minutes. That's a shame.
We will arrange another session for you, sir.
All right. Okay, but the question here is, what is the most important thing? Genuinely smile, body language, body expression. Are you ready for this? And you will be amazed. I have done this hundreds and thousands of times successfully. And I don't see why you cannot do this. Most people deep down, they think they are very intelligent, they are very knowledgeable, they are very logical, they have that scientific understanding. Yes, deep down we all feel. So what is the best way to get their attention? Ask question. Yes. The beauty is how to frame an appropriate question for the occasion and for that person. If you know someone who is doing psychology for 4 years and they are into the practice, you can say, hey, Anjali, I know you've been into this field for long and you've been got interaction with so many people. May I ask you one question? I tell you, Anjali will run with 100 speed and say, please tell me what's the question. Yes or no, Anjali?
Yes.
Because I'm talking something that is more relevant to you, something more meaningful to you. Now, the trick only here is, can you frame an appropriate, meaningful, and timely question? In this panel, if I go and ask Anjali, Anjali, how can we stop the farmers doing protest? And she don't want to talk to me. Or Anjali, how we can remove the world's poverty? You don't have a clue. We cannot do this. So the most important thing to get someone attention is ask meaningful, relevant, timely questions. Being in present, fantastic. Knowing their perspective, true, sir, wow. And this is something that you can immediately try in your counseling sessions. The beauty is only asking questions. Compliment them. Yes, Kirtilal, fantastic. Okay. All right. Now, the importance of understanding the VUCA world is so great because we are living in a world that is volatile. We don't know what's happening. What is true now, and in half a minute, it will be something else. We cannot predict, we cannot give a confirmation of what things are happening. The things, they were so simple, now it's very much complicated. And nothing is going to be straight. It's all ambiguous, it's everywhere. So we need equally powerful mind to deal with that situation. And outliers will take you out of the rut of the mind. And this is what it is. Okay, let me introduce your own mind with you. This is such an important thing. See, the mind is restless. The mind is turbulent. The mind is obstinate. The mind is strong. Okay. Let me ask you one quick question. If I tell you guys, don't think about watermelon. Don't think about watermelon. What is the first thing coming to your mind? What is the first thing coming to your mind? If I say don't think watermelon, the first thing that comes to your mind is watermelon. Yes. So your mind is obstinate. Heat, mouth water. Wow. Stop thinking. Watermelon itself. So we have to be very smart when we deal with the mind. Restless. It cannot fix at one place. Turbulent. We think about doing so many different things again and again and again. Yes. So how to come out of this? The answer is here. Okay. Anjali, I will be playing a small video. This is a very, very important video. I just want to tell me if you can look at the video and is the audio is coming as well. Okay.
Sure, sir. Sure, sir.
All right. The fifth important thing we want to do it in this people is, are you coachable? Are you work in progress? Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to take your learning to the next level? Are you ready to unlearn? Because to unlearn is also a type of learning. Okay. So let me try this.
So you can click on escape so that you can exit from this PPT.
Can you see the video?
No, sir. You can you try resharing? You can stop this screen sharing and you can share it again. I think you have chose a tab while you are sharing so that we won't be able to see the video. Yeah. So you can close the PPT, sir.
Can you share and here? Let me
Reshare. I will close the sharing and you can open the video first. And yeah, sir. Now it's yeah. Now we
right.
can see the video,
All
and
right.
there will be okay. Yeah, I think the
All right.
video.
Now,
Yes.
I want to tell you one thing. This is the most important video of the day for me. And okay, let me have a video first, then we can talk. There will be one or two quick questions. I want the audience to please watch it carefully.
Okay. Sorry, sir. Sorry to interrupt. We are not able to hear the voice. So there will be like if you are seeing, you can see so many options, and to the right you will be seeing three dots in which if you are clicking, you will be seeing a share sound option. You can click on that, sir.
You are a genius.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
just say this is enough. I can't stand it watching me throwing rackets and embarrass myself in front of thousands of people in a live stadium. So I tried to change, quite a transformation from a screaming, racket throwing, swearing kind of brat on the tennis court to this calm guy you know today. It's
Okay. All right. So,
Yes, sir, we can see your PPT, sir.
guys, I tell you one thing. When I'm dealing with the celebrities and the sports person, I'm a life coach and a peak performance expert for them. And this is on a very serious note. Until and unless if you cannot work on your own behavior, the positive aspects, and you are not opening yourself to become a bigger version of yourself, that 10x is not going to happen. People come to me and say, I'm earning 50,000 rupees a month. I want to earn 60,000 or 70,000. I said, why not 5 lakh rupees? He just laugh at me and say, is it possible? I'm trying to push myself very hard just to earn 1 rupee more, and it's not happening. I said, you got it wrong. Because the moment you go from 50,000 to 60,000, it's not a major jump. That does not require any aspect of you to change. You can pretty much stay with the same people. You pretty much stay at the same time. You wake up at the same time. You read same newspaper. You talk to the same people. You watch the same movies. You don't do anything different. But the moment you say, I want to earn 5 lakh rupees, immediately your body language change. Immediately the type of vocabulary that you use will change. Immediately the type of thing that you want to do is change. On that very point, I developed a very important point about Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, well, I'm in very much love with him, the most important person that I have seen. And I've done a small video. Okay. So I just want to share that video with you, if that's okay. I just give that link. You can see it yourself whenever you want. Sorry, guys, just a second.
Sir, is the screen frozen?
Okay, that's okay. Look, I just want to share this small video. You can watch it in your own good time, no problem. This is important. How a person can go from here to there. You know, I just want to tell a small story. When Albert Einstein was only 6 years old, his father gifted him a magnetic compass. And the moment he saw, he was so much thrilled. And whatever he do, the magnet will always point in north-south direction. He was amazed. And it is said it was for the days and months, he was busy himself just looking at it, how this is happening. Now, I'm sure you remember you getting it the magnetic compass first time from your father or mother. How much time did you spend on it? 2 minutes, 3 minutes? And suddenly we got distracted from going to a dead squirrel somewhere. What have we done? Guys, till the very last day of his life, Albert Einstein was working on theory of magnetic energy. So he was with him throughout your life. One thing. And I want to tell you one thing. He said very famously, he said, I am not a very intelligent person, but I have patience to stay with problem little longer. Let me repeat. He said, I am not any genius. I stay with problem little more longer than other people. I think there is a message for me and as well as for you. If you are into psychology and if you want to be an outlier, solve the problem that other people are not able to solve yet. Stay with the problem, have patience, accept the things and try to learn the things. Don't go for shortcuts. And you will see it's amazing. It's amazing. More and more people are troubled by their own mind. They cannot focus. They are filled with depression, anxiety. More and more people are coming to me with their divorces. More and more people are telling that they cannot stand their own mind. Bhagavad Gita says, a controlled mind is one's best friend, but uncontrolled mind is someone's worst enemy. Again, Arjun says to Krishna, Vayurapi dushkaram, I can control the wind, but I cannot control the mind. And Krishna gives the answers. He says, Abhyasam and Vairagya. Abhyas means practice, Vairagya means renunciation. Guys, the sixth important thing I want to tell you is, if you want to be an outlier, simplify. The best ice cream in the world is vanilla flavor. Don't go for complex things, just simple. E is equal to mc square. Google is so powerful because it is so simple. Just go to the browser, type, and you can type the things and you get the answers. Imagine you have to wait for 5 days, you have to fill the form, you have to go to the government office, you have to fill a 25 rupees draft, and that to submit in once again some government banks, come back and wait for 20 more days to get the answers. It's not going to work. The important thing I want to tell you is, refine yourself. And again, Albert Einstein says, if you're thinking I'm in love with Albert Einstein, yes, I am. Fantastic person. He is everywhere. He says, if you cannot explain something in a very simple term to your grandmother, it means you haven't understood it well enough. Make it simple. Try to create the aspiration that people can come out with the whole thing. My only suggestion is here. I want to tell you this. Is my slide visible, guys?
Yes, sir. Your slide is visible. It's now on escape velocity.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm not sure about how much you know about escape velocity. See, if a projectile, if it wants to come out of Earth's gravitational pull, it just cannot do it. The moment it tries to go up, the Earth gravitational pulls it back. It has to maintain the speed of 11.2 kilometers per second before it can break the Earth's gravitational pull. Hundreds and hundreds of people have approached me in the past. They are trying to break up with their bad habits. They stop trying to get away from the addiction of different internet things that they do, the medicine that they are in, the alcohol. They just cannot come out of it. I'm telling you, you have to do it consistently and courageously. Escape velocity. Try to do something that can lift you up, and that gives you such an important aspect. So replace your willpower with love power. The moment you have the love power coming to you, you will see amazing things happening with your life. Okay, that is something that we all can take. And this could be my last slide. The biggest thing that we can do is the fear of failure. Okay, the people who cannot reach the top in their own life is because they are so much afraid of fear of failure. They will do something, and if they fail, that they don't want to be in that situation. The second thing is poor self-image. When they look themselves in the mirror, they don't have that positive, high regards for themselves. Now tell me, how can a mentally bankrupt person will have a millionaire bank balance account? It's not happening. You have to have a positivity and a strong sense of purpose. That is something that will take you to the next level. And it is said by the time you're 18 years of age, you would have heard negative things 148,000 times. You cannot do this, you cannot do that. Just take it out. What has happened in the past is important to a certain degree, but the most defining moment is right now. 31st of January around 11:15 is the most important thing in your life, because this is where the things are happening. This is where you can take action. Past, you cannot take action. Future, you cannot take action. This is the defining thing. Okay. So with that thing, I just want to conclude saying, happiness is not just an emotion, it's a decision. It requires a lot of courage to focus yourself on the most important thing. And once if you start doing it, you see tremendous opportunities are opening for you, for growth, for happiness, and for success. in my experience as a life coach and as a peak performance expert and a motivational speaker, one thing I can tell you, the people who are able to control their own mind, if they can manage their own anxiety, stay calm when the challenges are happening, it will create wonderful things. And it is said he is amazing because he has got a very calm head on the shoulders. So I want you to have a calm head on your shoulders. All right,
Wow.
beautiful. Thank you very much. And once again, my sincere thanks to the team here at 3G and 3G International Psychology thing. And this is going to be such an amazing thing for me. Good experience. I'm sure there was some merit of when you got from this one. And thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me here.
So we have a request. Could you please say something about dreams? Why some people, oh my God, is bombarding with messages. I'm not able to find the previous message. So can you tell brief something about dreams, why it is important in one's life? We would
Okay.
definitely love to hear that from you.
Fantastic. For me, it's very important because dream, once you add a timeline attached to it, it becomes your reality. It becomes your goal. Okay. And I have seen again and again. How much time we have? Do you have 3 or 4 minutes? Because I want to tell you something that can blow the heads off.
Yes, so
See,
we can find out
it
this
was
in a
Hitler's
couple of minutes. Yeah.
It was Hitler's concentration camp, and people are dying every day, every second, every minute. Okay, and there comes the most important person, and if you are from psychology, you would know Viktor Frankl entered there. You know Viktor Frankl, right? Okay, so he entered there with his wife, with his children, with his parents. And immediately he realized if he have to stay alive in this place, he should not let the outside negativity come inside the brain. So he was very clear. One person approached him and said, Victor, I know you are a psychologist, you are a monovagyanik. I'm getting this dream. And I got this dream on 31st of January, luckily today, same in that story, that I will be free. I will be free away from the concentration camp. What do you think? What is the message? Am I going to be free? You are a psychologist. Can you tell me this is going to happen? And he said, yes, this is going to be true. And you will be released on 31st of Jan. And this person, his body language changed. He started living as if now the good time is coming. He was very positive, very honest, very upbeat. As soon as the time started approaching 31st, somehow he started realizing that it is not going to happen. He is not going to be released. And slowly on 31st of Jan and 31st of Jan, he was dead. People around him thought he died a natural death. But Viktor Frankl knew he died because of hopelessness. Dream gives you hope. Dream gives you hope. Dream gives you hope. Dreams are your possibilities. Dreams are your possibilities. And personally, I feel if you don't have dreams, you are lame. So have dreams. And once the Second World War was over, there were very handful of people who stayed in the concentration camp who survived. And interestingly, the people who are very strong bodily, the people who are very knowledgeable, the people who are wealthy, they are all dead. But the people are very simple, common men you see walking on the street, very normal looking people, they survived. And it was studied, it was researched. Viktor Frankl did an elaborate thinking on this. Are you ready for it? The people who could give their life a bigger purpose during the challenging time, they are the one who can come out of the negativity and wait patiently, focusing, working in the background. Instead of suffering in silence, they are contributing in present. If you have that purpose, you can immediately come up and start to add positivity. So my only thing here which is have a purpose that will stay, that will wake you awake, that will make you positive when things are not going as per your plan. And from experience, I can tell you guys, 9 times out of 10, things won't go as you have planned. Trust me on this. So you should plan for failures more than for success, because things won't work. There are different permutation and combination. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go into the details. But the only thing is, have the purpose. Anjali, I have one request for all the participants. If not in more than one line, and this is purely volunteer, if they can write me what is their purpose. Please don't confuse goals with purpose. Today your goal is to tolerate me, which you're doing it. Today your goal could be meeting your girlfriend. Today your goal could be preparing a best gift for the Valentine's Day. But the goals keeps on changing. Purpose is like a north. It doesn't change.